right, we are live, coming to you live here on Memorial Day. Mr. Let's Paint TV. Mr. Let's Paint TV. Good to see you all here. I'm just gonna just hang out with you here, and we're just gonna talk about some lovely sale that we have here in the at my Etsy store, and we're going to show you some of the lovely items that we have available at 20% off. 20% off. Lots of stuff we're going to go through here this afternoon on a lovely Memorial Day, Monday. I hope you are having a wonderful day. First day of summer here for us here in the United States. And so a little foggy, and it's actually kind of nice that it is a little foggy, because when that fog is gone, it definitely gets a little too hot. It'll get too hot. And talking about getting hot, this sale that we have, the 20% off sale in my Etsy store, is hot. It is hot. I don't have any. We don't have any bells and whistles that I know of, but or do I? You know, I used to. At one time I did have some weird bells and whistles, didn't I? We could work on that. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. I don't, never know if anyone's here. No, you guys were not expecting me to be here. I know that. This is not my regular Wednesday night scenario. So at the moment, we do not have anybody watching this. But we know that you will be watching. You will be, or you are watching eventually, because we're going to just stay here for a while and hang out. Just hang out. I got a couple of beers to sip on. That's always fun. Oh, we got someone over on Twitch. What's going on? Lita Lotus. What's going on? The Weird Guys. What is going on? We got MKXLNT. What's up, man? What's up? All right. We are hanging out with you. Just going to show you some stuff here, and otherwise just sort of hang out. Like I said, I got a couple of beers on a Memorial Day, hanging out. I love you too, Lita. I love you too. I love you all. Embrace the failure, my friends. Embrace the failure. No matter how it works out, just keep going. Keep going, and keep trying. Keep trying. As that's what I do. I just keep trying. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't work out. But nevertheless, as long as you embrace the failure, as long as you keep going, you find a way to make it work. It just sort of starts. It starts to make sense. Now, look, there are plenty of times where things do not work out, and there's always a whole host of barriers, if you will, but I think I like to think that the incorporation of the creative process in your life, the in conjunction with embracing failure, that can kind of keep you going. Though I do wonder. There are times I wonder where that might not be enough. And that's when you can have a beer. That's when a beer comes in. Sometimes though, sometimes the old saying, having these sayings, embrace failure, wearing a hat, in public, mind you, and letting everyone know you're willing to embrace failure, and that you are willing to keep going. That's what it's saying. You're willing to keep going. These are 20% off. That is free shipping, and that is through via our Etsy store. That's Let's Paint TV Etsy.com, I believe. Is that how it goes down? I have the link in the description, and it's also floating here. Yeah, .etsy.com. That http https http / something. Anyway, so these are the two popular hats that we have here. Yeah, John. Oh, hey, what's up? MKXLNT with the super chat. Wow, $10. Wow, super awesome. I so appreciate that. Thank you so much. That will help pay for these beers. These are, by the way, these beers are Canadian beers that for some reason are cheaper than the like Bud Light, but they kind of they don't taste the same, but they're pretty close. It's kind of a watery beer, you know. That's simply put. It's kind of like seltzer water. I like seltzer water, you know. I'm a seltzer water. Maybe I haven't. You know what? I don't think I've really ever tried those seltzer waters that are, you know, with the alcohol in them. I haven't done that yet. Maybe because I'm not like keen on just like getting drunk all the time, even though it might appear that that's the case, or maybe I'm maybe I'm delusional and I'm fooling myself. Okay, but you know, I think I want my seltzer water to be seltzer water and my beer to be beer. You know, I don't want my beer to be non-alcoholic, and I don't want my seltzer water to be alcoholic. I guess I'm old school. You know what I'm saying? And I like my coffee black. You know, what can I say? All right. Anyway, so again, whoops. We're gonna go through all these different hats. Well, not all the hats. And I'm not going to necessarily show you everything here tonight or this afternoon, wherever you guys are at. It's kind of pushing night for a lot of us, isn't it? Here in the United States, we're coming to the end of our Memorial Day weekend, and there was the Indianapolis 500, but that was yesterday. I think they should do Indianapolis 500 on the Monday, the actual Memorial Day, you know? But I guess it makes sense to do it on a Sunday. There you go, Weird Guys. Yes, Etsy.com/shop/Let's Paint TV. Yeah, everything. We got everything in there, 20% off. I just clicked on the button. I said just 20% off everything. The sale is actually going to go on for I think until in June, till like the 13th or something. I'll double check or whatever. I mean, it will go away. I set it up for a month, but I've already had it up for about a week. So, and exact date, and anyway, I can look it up if need be. But don't feel like you need to hold back. I already had someone, they were keen on getting something, and then I had sold it to somebody else. So that can happen. Doesn't usually happen, I gotta say, but it did once in a blue moon, you know. Anyway, these are the most popular hats that we got here. This is the classic, just simply black on white. These are trucker hats, and let me put it on for you. And now this kind of style looks actually quite good. For dress up, maybe you're going to go to an event like a black tie event. Maybe you're going to go to maybe you're like a hip hop rapper, or you're an actor, or you're a musician, and you're going to like some kind of event, or you're a politician for that matter, if that makes your if you if you feel, yeah, maybe you show up to your grandma's, wear this hat, and your grandma will probably be wondering what does that mean, and they probably get her get her all kind of flustered, and that's kind of a granny word, isn't it? All flustered, and she probably would probably get flustered wearing this hat. And this is again the classic. And then this one here is I call it sort of the sunset or dusk. It's more dusky, like the sun already went down, but it's also still sort of a sunset. And this is the more of a summer hat in a way. You could wear this in the summertime, I guess. And these two have been pretty popular. I might jazz it up and maybe buy some red ones and go red with and make it sunset. I don't know. It's endless, the possibilities. But we've been working this the black trucker hats with the white, and then you just paint Embrace Failure on top of them and stuff. So that's what we're doing here. We have about 10 of these painted ones available, and then these guys are endless. I just keep making them, and I can keep making these too if we run out. But as you can see, I have a whole bunch of them here. Look at I kind of went crazy and I thought, these are gonna go crazy. I'm being honest with you. I thought these would, just people would just buy these like there was no tomorrow. And well, I guess what it comes down to is I have sold many of these. I probably sold 100 of these hats. Maybe altogether I've sold 100. But actually maybe more if I include some of the other designs. So but maybe we only you only have so many people that are interested in what you're up to, and that's true. So not everyone needs to buy more than one hat, so that's I guess that's the problematic. I think the trick too in terms of salesmanship is maybe, well, I don't, in terms of, it's endless, the possibilities. I'm not really sure if there's a real correct way to sell anything. That's why we're here. I'm here for the experimental process. I'm here for to sell these hats. And also we're going to sell some other stuff. And you can, of course, peruse my Etsy store. We have patches and pins, but what we also have are hundreds of paintings, my friends, hundreds of paintings, and I'm gonna go pull some of those from our stack of paintings here. Let me just kind of show you over here. There's a whole stack of stuff right over here. I'm just gonna go pull those off here. These are unfinished paintings, some of them, so not all of these are available, but I'm gonna try to pull off. And also, it's kind of hard to access them all, but I'm just gonna pull off some of the smaller ones that I can just kind of get my hands on real easy. So there you go. Thanks again. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys hanging out. If you have any questions about my paintings, about Let's Paint TV, I'd be happy to answer them for you if you'd like. Let's see if there's any activity in our sales here. We're still we have not made a sale since we've gone live. But that might be bound to happen, or it might be bound. That might change. It's entirely possible. And of course, take your time in selecting some of these lovely artworks and or hats and whatnot. Let me just raise this just a tad bit more, I guess. I think that might be better. I'm not really sure. Yeah, so fantastic. I think there is a basketball game. Am I correct? I think there is a game on tonight. I don't have cable, so I would watch that game just out of curiosity, I guess. I like watching sports, particularly during the playoffs. You know, they're kind of fun to watch. There's a lot on the line. You know. What weird guys subscribed with Prime? I don't know what that means, but yeah, over on Twitch, I I need to take a class on how to understand Twitch. I don't get it, but I just do it, you know. And I barely understand YouTube. By the way, we're simulcasting right now, simulcasting between YouTube and Twitch, and you can find me on either places, and also Instagram. I'm big over there on Instagram. We're trying to, we've been sitting at like 199,000 subscribers for all this whole year. This whole year we've been sitting there for the whole year, and it doesn't go nowhere. And I dropped my pants and took a crap, and that didn't do nothing, you know. No, I did not do that. I probably, that's what I probably should do. I probably should drop my pants and take a crap, and then that's gonna give me a lot of views, right? No, I mean, what am I talking about? Or no, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna do this, but see, Shuttered 606 says he would watch, or she would watch, he or she. You like my sports paintings? Oh yeah, the Kawhi free throw. I can pull that out. It's right here. I can get to it. It's easy access. It's a nice size. Let me pull that out for you. All right, let me do that. Yeah, I'll do that. But you know, it'd be a good way to get a lot of, I think, you know, kind of go sexy. And do you guys know the famous Burt Reynolds pose where he's posing kind of basically naked, but he's, you know, hiding his, you know, his private parts and he's on a some kind of fur thing. He's reclining. Anyway, I think I'd have to grow a mustache though, and then pose for that. That would be kind of fun, actually. You know, before I get too old. You know, I'm still kind of like maybe rocking the dad bod kind of look, but that's gonna run out pretty soon here. So I better get on it. Okay. Anyway, just kidding around. I'm not doing that. Just to get views, you know. Though it doesn't. It didn't. It's not it's definitely, I thought of it, didn't I thought of it. So if I thought about it, that means that I considered it at least for a second. So I did consider it for a second, right? And then I'm like, nah. I didn't spend too much time in that realm. And you know, but to each his own. To each his own. Anyway, I'm happy with the content that I provide to you guys, which is what I'm not really sure what it is anymore, frankly. But you know, I think it's the experimental aspect, and maybe an advocate for you know, of course, embracing failure. Again, embrace failure hats here. 20% off, free shipping. Chad, right? That's right, Chad. Best Etsy store ever. And what's going on over there, Shuttered 606? You posted something crazy over there. I love it. I don't know what that is, but I love it. I love it. And we love to have you guys get one of these Embrace Failure hats. We got We got a lot of supply, but I've only painted this batch of each at the moment. There's about, I don't know, about 10 of the sunset version, and then there's about 10 of the embrace failure. But again, I can, of course, when we sell these, I'll just make some more. And I've been doing that for the past 3 or 4 years now with the embrace failure hats. So how many have I actually sold? I guess there's a way I could find that out, couldn't I? Even on Etsy, because I predominantly have sold them on Etsy. So, it would take some figuring out. I don't think it'd be that. They should have a way. No, you know why it's not going to work? Because sometimes I relist, but I made some changes, and so because of that, then it's not considered. It would not be considered the same. So I'd have to figure that part out, and meaning that I would have to include, a few different listings because it's basically the same listing. So it's not going to be a simple thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to go ahead and do a little research. Fawpaw RL says, I'm starting to think about selling my art, and I don't even know where to begin. There is a Bandcamp, MKXLNT. Yes, I also have a Spotify. I forget which one is which, and if there's a difference, I'm not even sure. Where should you begin if you're trying to sell your art? Look, I say depending on where you're at or how you feel, but online is it's a no-brainer in a way. But that's an avenue. But I'm not advocating anyone to do it. Everyone's got their own way of doing things, and it may not be for you, is the famous statement of sorts. So yeah, it's not always necessarily gonna be ideal, and it's not necessarily ideal, but it's a good way to get a gauge if someone likes it, maybe. So I always recommend trying this place called sachiart.com, and it's free. It's free, and so so free to upload, free to put up there, and you can kind of gauge to see what the response is. And then but then otherwise, so like my Etsy store, it's like you have to pay like 20 cents for a listing, but it goes for 3 months, I think. So mathematically, I have no idea if that's even a good thing or not, but it's 20 cents for a listing. But I think I have 400 listings, so I think it adds up, and I'm not even sure what I'm doing, But I guess, I haven't figured that so much, but I look how it works. I'm making a profit enough. It's working. Okay, I got it to work, and people who sell on Etsy, it's that 20%, that 20 cents is nothing compared to because they don't take that much in the first place. Chad asked me, when is the Jim Barry show coming back? I would love to bring back the Jim Barry show. I really would. There's a whole bunch of stuff there that it would be really fun. In fact, I have stuff. Yeah. I have a lot of Jim Barry show videos, but they're not converted into digital form. And maybe I should focus on trying to get those out. But I have a few, and you've seen some of them on YouTube, and so I could at least maybe post some of those, repost them, re-edit them, particularly for Instagram. which is fun to. Like I said, I've been getting a lot of run for my money on Instagram. However, it's sort of died on me. It's just like boom, just in terms of getting subscribers, which has not amounted to anything in the first place. So why should I care? Why should I even care? But it was fun. It was fun to see, the progress, and then it just all of a sudden gone, nowhere. The progress, just mentally, you go, what's going on? And then on top of it, there was. You'd think I'd have all those subscribers, and they talk about influencers and stuff. There's no money in this, believe me. But then there's people talking about they make tons of money on this. So now, as I endlessly talk about whatever stream of thought here, I gather, I've never done the TikTok. Well, I tried it. Actually, I did try it, and then I got rid of it real quick. But apparently, you can make some money over there. Or I've heard. But then I don't understand how anyone ever makes any money on this stuff. I make $20 roughly on YouTube a month, just on all the videos. And of course, I make a lot of videos that no one watches. True. But of course, I do have one or two that are sort of viral-ish, but they're viral from like 10, 15 years ago. So, so no one even watches them anymore. It's interesting too, those videos are kind of so, they look like they're from 10, 15 years ago. Like the quality's really kind of bad. All right. Well, I just want to see if I make a note. I'm making a note here. Oh, this is not to scare you guys off, but I wrote this the other day. I thought it was kind of funny. By the way, fuck you. So to the point sometimes, right? I gotta turn on the fan, and when I do that, that's gonna. Where is the fan? Oh, the fan's over here. I need to turn on the fan because it's kind of getting hot in here. But if I do that, it's gonna screw up the sound. I gotta do it in a way so it doesn't mess up the sound. I think I can. If I do it here, it might be good. Let me see. Let's put the sound up. Put the fan. Just get some movement, I'm thinking that's not affecting the sound. I'm not really sure it is or not. I just need some air. How much? I don't get the question. How much do you have to pay to? A lot of my thing, and I feel like LPTV is the same vein, is to involve people in art and encourage people to create art for the hell of it. Hell yeah. Thank you, Lone Penguin. Yes, we got a discussion here. But yeah, I think it's good. I mean, if I'm going to be out here trying to interact with you all, deep down, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. I want to try to encourage you, or maybe make you laugh, if that's possible, and also you want to laugh at me. That's fine too. I learned. I've always felt that is. Just as important as someone who comes, in terms of if you want to be a performer, I think that is not necessarily the adage of a lot of performers, by no means, but for me, for someone who likes to embrace failure, then having people laugh at me as much as or at times as they are laughing with me. It's all good. It's all good. Sometimes, so when you fail and people want to think that you're an idiot, then maybe it might seem strange, that experience, but if you know how to you know get yourself out of that paper bag. What's the saying about the saying about an idiot doesn't even know how to get themselves out of a paper bag? What is that? Such a ridiculous. What is that? Anyone know that saying? You should have everyone from the cable access days in your house for a live party with booze and snacks. Yeah, that's a good idea. I would not want to host. I'm not hosting, but I would love to have them at a cable access studio with booze and snacks, and everyone Ubers there so they can get all drunk. Well, it doesn't have to be a cable access studio because they're not going to let you have alcohol. So maybe a closed set where you could have alcohol. Speaking of that, I went to I was on that show, Bronson Action Bronson's show where he was talking about aliens. You know that show? Ancient Aliens. He was watching old replays. Yeah. I was on. I didn't ever meet him. It was really kind of weird. I didn't meet him at all. But I went to the studio and they picked up my treadmill, and but it's a closed set, right, kind of thing. And anyway, the place smelled like marijuana because that's all they do is smoke weed there. But I didn't do any of that. They just had me separately do a performance that they ended up using eventually. It's somewhere. Go look for it. I don't know where it's at, but yeah, good times. But yeah, so you could. It kind of reminds me of that thought. We could just have a place like that, and then have someone pick you up, or Uber to the place, and we can hang out. A lot of those people are kind of. I know one person in particular, my good friend Michael. He passed away. He passed away in 2005. So yeah, that was a while ago. And who knows? Some of the other people might have too. But I'm not really sure. This guy Robert Thompson. I know he has a middle name. Is that right? Wait. He went on to be quite successful, famous. He's the guy who does impersonations stuff. All righty. Anyway, thanks again for hanging out. Mr. Let's Paint here, hanging out, just having a beer on Memorial Day. We got a Memorial Day sale and our Etsy store. Of course, I'm getting sidetracked. Let me, I want to write a note. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll write a note here. I have other notes that I write. I write a lot of notes, and then I lose track of the notes because they're maybe not so important, but at the time I felt like I needed to write down a note. So what I'll do is I'll write a little quick note here, and that might remind me to do something. Anyway, free shipping in the continental United States on my Etsy store. I'm gonna pull out MKXLNT. I'm gonna be pulling out that what's this? Kawhi Leonard. Will I be charged a tariff if I buy a hat for my hat? For your head, Kota? I'm not really sure. Buy a hat for your hat. It is the price you got there. I don't think if you're buying you're in China, if you're in Canada, I have no idea. I don't know. This will be a test to see if there's some kind of weird surcharge. Now I don't ship. I ship to Canada, but it costs an extra. I have a, I add another $20 just to ship, and even that might not even cover it. But that would be maybe the only thing in terms of in my case is that maybe the postage might be a little more expensive than I have. I haven't shipped to Canada in a while, so it would be a test. But I just don't know. I cannot guarantee you how that goes down. But I'm not buying these. I have this product already. You know what I mean? The product is here, so I'm not doing any. I'm not buying anything from China at the moment. I do have a bunch of patches and pins, where they did send the stuff from China, and I suspect that has gone up considerably, at least 25% at the very least, or 30% or something. I saw an interesting thing. Let me write this down before I forget. Okay, I'll just put this down. Edit. Jim Barry shows for Instagram. I mean, I wrote that down, and I'm like already thinking I'm not going to do that just because I'm tired of editing. But I'll probably try it. I'll look into it. Yeah, it's a painting of the beach. Though I gotta say, I'm gonna be reworking it, and might change it drastically. So it's kind of more in the works. I don't feel comfortable with it, but of course it's sitting there. I've been doing a lot of work with the acrylic, and it's interesting to work with as opposed to working with oil. I for years I worked with oil paints. Okay, so no sales yet here in my Etsy store. Just checking. All right, let me pull out some of the paintings and I'll show you that. You assumed I worked in acrylics. Well, I do now. Do I have a wet box? No, I don't know what that means, a wet box. What do you mean, wet box? Do I have a wet box? Not really sure what that means. For years, I hated acrylics, and I still don't know if I even like acrylics, to tell you the truth. But, it keeps the paint wet? Yeah, no, I don't play that game. You can you can make a little plastic box, right, for your palette, and then you can even put like paper towels and wet the paper towels, and that's supposed to keep the painting. That's just I don't have the patience to do that, and I have done it, but I guess I kind of know how to do it, I suppose. Or do I? You can also put it in the refrigerator to try to keep it from drying. Keep it from drying, man. But I try to work. Yeah, I use gesso. I try to work with big gobs of paint. And so I just put the paint that I didn't use and I just put it back into the paint thing of paint. And then that way it stays, as long as you keep the thing closed, you're good, But oil, I've always enjoyed oil, the way it looks, and but I kind of took a break from oil, and I'm kind of itching to do more oil again. But I don't care. It's all good. What I love about acrylic are two things. It dries literally within the day. Boom. No, I don't spend any time cleaning the brushes. I put the brushes in a jar, and I either let them soak in water if they're acrylics, and by the way, if they're in acrylics, they're really easy to clean. But oil paints a little more messier, and that I just keep them in a jar with some like linseed oil. Uh, part and parcel, part and parcel. Is that how you say it? Is that how you spell it? Part and participle. Part of the. I don't know. I'm not really sure what you're trying to ask, but let me get some more paintings to get some paintings to show you. Let me first show you the Kawhi Leonard painting that is up in our Etsy store. If I gotta find it first, but I think I had it. I think it's easy to access. I think. All right, here we go. I got some. Uh-oh. Oh no. Okay, I got you, Kawhi. I got you, Kawhi. All right. These are some works on paper. We're gonna show you here. Works on paper, guys. Let's see here. Let me see if I can get to it without having it all fall all over the place. Okay, someone's texting me. Let me see what that's about. Let's see. Okay, it's all good. Everything's all good here, guys. Still waiting for our first sale of the night. But at the very least, please peruse our Etsy store. 20% off everything in our Etsy store. All right. All right, here we go. Let's take a quick, let's see this painting of Kawhi Leonard. I don't know how I'm going to show this, but it's not necessarily impossible, is it? It's totally doable. Here you go. This is on a full sheet of paper. I don't know what camera I'm got. Oh, I'll just go with this camera here, I guess. So this is on a full sheet of Arches watercolor paper. It's a cold press. I like that kind of paper, but actually I just I say that, and then I just bought a roll of hot press, Arches hot press, which also I like. It's all they do different things, and that's the fun thing about painting, is that the different materials, and yes, it's maybe it's kind of more, you can be more consistent by focusing on one particular medium and surface for that matter. So like say you're doing oil paints and you do oil paints on canvas, or oil paint in general is good no matter what, but whatever you put oil paint on, you're good to go. But watercolor is a kind of a strange game, because if you put watercolor on a cold press paper versus a hot press paper, so cold press has a kind of like a bumpy quality to it, and so the paint does something different. It's just a whole nother ball game, almost. Whereas hot press, it's kind of like Bristol board. It's smooth. It's sexy. I mean maybe, I guess. Anyway, so this is the Kawhi Leonard. He's about trying to make a a free throw, I can't say it. A free throw. Alrighty, let's pull. So there you go. That's one painting to take a look at. And I keep it in the basketball thing. And again, we have basketball playoffs going on right now. And I have a number of sports related. He played at Toronto. Yes, he did. He did he help win? No, maybe he did not. I think he moved on to San Antonio and won some championships there. I'm not sure if he did play in Toronto, to tell you the truth. But obviously, you can just look that up. Speaking of sport, so I got a lot of sports themed artworks. Football, baseball, and basketball. That's the three sports that I grew up with. Never got into the hockey, though. I mean, I do have a couple of hockey stories for you, but and you know, just do other things. I mean, you know, played golf and all that, bowling. I've but I did play a little street hockey for like a couple of days after USA beat Russia. I was like part of that excitement when that happened as a little kid, and we ended up getting little street hockey sticks, and we played hockey, and I remember I was kind of good at it. I thought I was kind of any kind of sport I was kind of good at. So so playing hockey I was also kind of good, but I never learned how to ice skate. So, and anyway, hockey was never anything. We never did go to a hockey game once, and again as a kid, it was an NHL game with the California Golden Seals, and now look that one up. California Golden Seals, and that's there in Oakland, California. They were there for maybe I don't even know how many years, like two. They moved on. I think they became the Cleveland Barons, and then I think the franchise I don't know. I think I had heard that that they disintegrated. Which it's hard to believe that is possible. Did that really happen? Okay. Another sports-themed artwork here. And this is basketball players in a fish tank playing basketball. So this is sort of an interesting piece. I kind of like it, I got to say. Again, this is on a full sheet. You can kind of see me there. Look at that. That's me looking at the players playing basketball. Yeah, look it up. California Golden Seals faux pas. Anyway, there you go. This is another piece available 20% off in our Etsy store. Thank you. You know what's neat about watercolor, as I think I did pretty well here, is, which I don't get as much with the oils, and that is I'm able to get better depth and variety in the surface, and I think when I go back to doing oil, I'm going to try to focus on that idea of getting better depth. I don't know. It's an endless, like I said, it's endless, and so you can't just always have it all figured out. Paulette, what is up, cousin Paulette? In the house. What's going on? I haven't seen you. Where have you been? I haven't seen you. That's because I'm doing good. But I was wondering what's going on with Paulette, because I never see you on Facebook because I know you got rid of Facebook a long time ago. So, and that's like, sometimes Facebook is like, and Instagram, sometimes, and to some degree, YouTube and Twitch, is sort of, sadly, sometimes my only way of interacting with the rest of the world. I mean, that's not true, but it's kind of true. You're making a musical? Nice. We still got the Let's Paint TV musical to work on. We can always when you get this musical that you're working on, get that figured out. Then you can come back and help do the Let's Paint TV musical. Where are we located? Los Angeles, California. Faux pas. We're in Los Angeles, California. All right, 20% off, everybody. Do I seriously want? Yeah, I've never gave up on the idea. Do you think I stopped? Did I ever tell you, Paulette, stop doing it? I'm like, yeah, let's keep doing it. But I have no idea how you do it. I think that was the problem, right? How do you do this, Oh, faux pas. Where are you in Canada? Faux pas. Because I am gonna be, okay, call me no matter what. Oh, I want to play that song. Wait, you're in Montreal. Oh, fantastic. I'm going to be in Quebec. I'm going to be just across the Ontario-Quebec border, up there in a little town just across the border from Ottawa, there in Quebec. And on I believe it's November 1st, I'm going to be performing. Festival Fantone. Festival Fantone. I'd give you the name of the town, but it's over my head. I could look it up. Let me look it up here for you, faux pas. You can buy tickets starting in June. Can you spell the festival name? Yeah, let me get it for you. I'll get you the name. Let me do it here. Let me get it for you. Just give me a second. Okay. Because I just okay, it's festival. Fantome. Okay, here we go. FAM. No. FAN and Nana. TO, and the O has a little thing on top. Is that right? Let me see. No, it does not. It's just OME. Okay, the town is called QUYON. QUYON. And I'll be there around Halloween time, but I don't know exact. It's one of the days. Oh, is that right? The Weird Guys. Is that what that is? That's that looks like a Canadian radio station something. CKCUFM. Is that Canadian station giving off the events for music? Blah blah blah. All right, Weird Guys got the link. Hopefully it's a real link. It's not gonna take you to some place with a QR code and is gonna take all your credit card information. Oh, great! And is Mr. Let's Paint listed in there? Anyway, that's That's the only performance I have planned at the moment, which is really quite a ways from now. But it's just as well because my knee's acting up and I'm trying to figure out how to strengthen it and make it work and all that stuff. All right. Again, 20% off everything. Thanks again for being here. Paulette, my cousin, is in the chat there in our YouTube. And I'm glad to see you, Paulette. I played your Embrace Failure song on one of my latest Instagram feeds because I was promoting the Embrace Failure hats, and sure enough, I looked for some music, and the only song that is there that's about Embrace Failure is your song, Paulette. So, and it is a very positive, cheerleading kind of song, you know. So that is good times. What else we got? Oh, let's take it some more painting. I'm trying to show you some more paintings that we have available. Now, I know a lot of people in the internet tend to like, at least there's sort of a, if you don't like sports, let's just say you don't like sports, then you like monster movies and just weird shit like that. So this one is one of these. I've done a few paintings like that, and this is Godzilla, and I forgot the guy's name. And anyway, this one's available in our Etsy store, 20% off. As you can see, they look like they're friends, right? Because in this episode, I remember watching it, and I think at some point they were enemies, but then just classic life kind of deal. They realized they had to become friends to take on a new enemy, like my cat, we have a new cat, and the new cat is sort of at odds with the other cats. And so they want to fight all the time. But wait a second. Outside there's some birds, and there's some squirrels. And next thing you know, they're on Team Cat, they're on Team Cat. And so anyway, so this was kind of an example of that from this movie. I don't know the guy's name. Megalotron, I think. Am I getting that right? Megalotron? All right. So I did that one. I probably could. Yeah, my cat could very well be Godzilla. If she was as big as Godzilla, she would be a terror. She would be a terror. Let me tell you. Okay, now this one is... wait, what am I looking at? This is, well, I think I have it. It's one of these monsters, but I don't even know what it is. Let me see. Why can't I tell what it is? If you can't tell what it is, maybe it's not so good, right? That's not always the case, right? That's not always the case. You don't necessarily always have to play that. Sometimes it's better that it doesn't make any sense. Okay, but for some reason I can't figure out what that is. I think that's somehow related to the monster paintings that I've done. All right, we got a few more to show you here. Now this is a watercolor. This is a nice water. I like this water. This is another watercolor of a security camera from a like this was, I got this off the news, like this was somebody that had I guess robbed. I don't know where I got this now that you mentioned it, but I did a watercolor of it because it was interesting, basically. I liked it. So it's like the camera from the store. I tried doing that. I like this so much. I did a larger painting of this that is also available. All right, I'm not gonna pull that one out. Okay, now this one I like this. I like this one. This was remember when Bud Light got in trouble because they had the person they got paid and it was a big mess and all the so she posed and people they got upset because oh man, so it was a big mess. Dylan so and so, or I forgot her name. Anyway, so MAGA hated them and they boycotted Bud Light. Anyway, so I decided I'd go ahead and put myself on a can of Bud Light. So there you go. I like this piece. You can kind of see it's a little self-portrait. What was her name? Forgot her name. But the people boycotted Bud Light, and they lost a lot of money because of that. Dylan Mulvaney, yeah, that's her name. Oh right, I'm not sure either. I'm assuming that she is a female, but I'm not sure. Transgendered, I'm not sure actually. Because I never knew much about the story, except for that people boycotted because of that. All right, let's see if there's any. We sold any of our hats. Okay, nothing yet. Embrace failure. All right, let's see if I can find another piece. Oh, okay. So some of these I didn't show you this one, and I can show you this one. Speaking of embrace failure, this is I'll just give you the title. This is me walking and painting August 2022. Walking and painting at the same time. And so this, it's kind of a mess, but at least there's some kind of spontaneity in it all. Now, I'm not exactly sure, actually, honestly, if this is even available in the Etsy store. But we have pieces like this where it's based on sort of a performative aspect and sort of a battle, and still at the same time, doing something else, basically multitasking, I guess, playing music, something like that. So it's, I'm not exactly sure that this is. If you like this one, let me know, and you don't find it on the Etsy store, we'll post it. We'll list it, if you will. All right, here's another one here, guys. Here's another one. Have a faux pas. Have you ever been to the Electric Eclectic Festival in Meaford, Ontario? Have you ever been to that one? I've done that 2 times. It's been about 10 years since I've been there, but and also I've done the Ottawa Blues Fest. I've done the Ottawa Blues Fest 2 times also. I was backstage and Snoop Dogg was there backstage, and also that guy Flaming Lips backstage. I was hanging out. I didn't talk to him or nothing, but I was backstage, Uh, anyway, fun times. Ottawa Blues Fest. Yeah, embrace failure. Oh, so let me tell you this story here. This is this is a again on good quality paper. I don't know what kind though. I'm not really. I'm not sure if it's Arches. I don't think it is. It's smooth, so it's something else. And so it's a spray paint. It's a spray paint. Oh, I think it's over a watercolor, I believe. Anyway, it's it's embrace failure. Oh yeah, Ottawa Blues Fest is gigantic, isn't it? It's humongous. I was part of a kind of an eclectic, if you will, music kind of schedule, grouping. Myself along with a handful of other a weird maybe for popular culture types, experimental music types. I was part of this group where we, making weird sounds ultimately. So yes, so I don't even know if they still do that anymore, but it was basically because the director for the Ottawa Blues Fest is the brother of the director for the Electric Eclectics Festival. I don't know if that's their titles. I could be wrong with that. Maybe their president, CFO, CEO. I'm not really sure. Fantastic. Let's get some more paintings to show you. I can pull some more out while we hang out. Again, 20% off everything in my Etsy store. I don't know who's watching. I don't know how long I'll keep doing this, but we're just sort of hanging out on a Memorial Day. I know people always, I'm sure you've heard this, but I've always enjoyed, in a sense, entertain the idea of how Memorial Day is actually, all these soldiers in all wars, with all these different nations, from different, all the different nations. You know what I mean? Like, I like to think of it that way, even though I know it does seem as though this particular Memorial Day is sort of reserved for U.S. only. But I think it's kind of interesting to possibly. But I guess by celebrating every country's military soldiers, then you're advocating for more war. I don't know. It's complex, right? It's complex. No, well, you understand that but I think you ideally think that your country is the right country. Okay, now we're getting deep thoughts. But you're thinking your country is the best country, and so therefore your soldiers sacrifice their life, to better the world, which is a very right? No, that is embedded in U.S. culture in terms of that they pump that up. What do they do in Canada? Do they have something like that, like a celebration of their war soldiers? Besides VJ Day, whatever day, there is a World War II, or right? Isn't there a day for that? You have a Veterans Day. Yeah, we have a Veterans. What's your day, Veterans Day? Because we have Veterans Day. That's 11/11, because it happened on 11/11. I know that. So you probably celebrate that on the same day too. I'm imagining, along with all the members of the Allied group, as opposed to the Axis. What a bad name, Axis. The Axis. Who wants to be? You want to be allied, man. I want to be allied. By the way, I don't even know what the difference. What? Well, we could look that up. But what is the? How do those names get applied? I'll be curious to how they got applied in the first place. For World War I, and they also applied those same names for World War II. How did those names? We got to ask these questions. Google it. Google it. It's called Remembrance Day. It's 11/11. You know, 11/11 on the hour of 11/11 is supposedly like a very special time in spirituality. I've heard that. So if you ever look down on your watch or phone and you see 11/11, you are you've hit a special nerve. You're hitting a special nerve of high consciousness. But you may not know it because you're not aware of it. So now you are. Now you know. Now you know. You had a friend that was super into 11/11. Oh, wait, he was. What were they into? The 11/11, the spiritual thing, or the the Veterans Day thing? What are you talking about? The spiritual thing. Okay. According to the internet, okay. Wait, we're gonna get a follow up on that. Are we still there on YouTube? No one's. I'm spending more time on the Twitch talk chat board. Mussolini said this: Berlin Rome vertical line is not an absolute obstacle, but rather an axis around which can revolve all these European states with a will to collaboration and peace. Oh, beautiful. That's beautiful. Mussolini, probably the most beautiful thing he ever said. But he did get the trains to run on time. That's what famously he said. America's toast. No, don't say that. Come on. We're gonna keep going. Well, you know, in reality, no matter what happens, we will probably keep going. So, I try not to get into politics, but it does kind of show up once in a while. Gotta just keep going. I'm not. I try not to. I don't spend a lot of time in it because it seems screwy. You can see the bullshit there though with the certain people, and so I don't like seeing when I see the bullshit, and particularly when I see particularly online, the ridiculous nonsense that comes out of everyone. It just perpetuates the idea that we are some stupid ass people, you know, and it's incredibly depressing. And so I only hope that we find a way to survive it all and get better at being, humans. But right now it's not a good look, as far as I'm concerned. But maybe it never really was it? And so, all I can say though is that we are not cannibals anymore. We figured out how to not eat each other, but we still got a long ways to go on other aspects. In terms of treating each other, particularly people that we may be thinking that we need to. We don't want or something. How you deal with them is just that's a weird when you're showing how you treat others. Uh, that's just not a good look. That's just evil, frankly. That's what it is. All right. Enough of that. Like I said, though, that's like an ongoing thing that is seems to be always been in place. It's not probably not necessarily something that is some new thing. It's actually been here, you know. All right. Well, let's see. We've been going on for about an hour. I don't know. Oh, let me show you some more paintings. How about that? More paintings. That was kind of a downer, wasn't it? We got kind of down. uh, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. I think we're gonna try to make it work. All we can do is try to make it work. We try to make it the best. That's the idea here, you know. But I you know, I got to do what you think you can do, you know. So I think what I can do is at least, you know, be an artist. That's all I really can do. At least I feel that way, and makes me feel like I'm doing something. All right, let's get some more paintings to show you. Let's get some more paintings here. Uh, you know, if you get into a deep thinking about stuff, it's also fascinating too how the world works and how you work, and there's a lot of philosophy going on, right? I suspect. I don't know. All right. Let me see. Pull out some more. I'll pull out some oil paintings that we got here. Let me pull out some oil paintings. Well, I don't know. Oh, yeah, I got a couple. I got a couple. Oh man. All right, I'm not gonna show you. I'll just show you these. Oh no, that's okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. All right. Okay, this is the only thing I'm gonna show you because I was looking at them. I was looking at those paintings I had, and they're like, oh man, I know most of these aren't even listed, and then I don't even like them, and I probably should just. I don't know what to do with them. Maybe just paint over them or something. Anyway, so I got a whole bunch of. Maybe I'll rethink that. But let's take a look at these. These are some official Let's Paint TV empty tubes of paint that I used in making of my paintings. These are mounted on a cardboard, I signed the back. So they're all kind of somewhat different, but then they're kind of similar, as you can see. This one's red. This is red paint. Pretty exciting. Pretty exciting stuff. Oh, I'm on a burnout phase. I think we kind of went down an avenue where I burned out on this, but we're still here. We'll go a little longer if need be. I'll maybe just get another beer. We'll just get another beer and then we'll be good to go. How about that? And then, hang out. Let's see if we've sold any hats yet. Okay, well, we're waiting for confirmation of a sale. All right, let me get another beer. I'll be right back. All right, we are back. This is the one that I wear all the time. It's already been got little, it gets stained and all that stuff. These guys are in pristine condition. They're brand new, Though I get, obviously I put a couple of them on my head, but only for a second. So, faux pas, do you drink Labatt's Blue? The Canadian beer? It's actually owned by Budweiser. Because why? Because this is celebrating the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Is that the reason faux pas that you will not drink Labatt's Blue? What kind of beer do you drink up there? In Quebec, Montreal, Montreal. Okay. Okay. Faux pas. Trying to avoid the major breweries as much as possible. I get it. I know I see what you're talking about. I'm I tend to always look for the best deal. You know, that's sort of my move. And speaking of a good deal, um, I got 20% off everything here in my Etsy store, and you can get there with the link in my description, or go to letspainttv.etsy.com. I believe that's the link. Anyway, so yeah, this, believe it or not, the Labatt's Blue is cheaper than the Budweiser, but I think there's some weird connection because again, this is actually owned by the Budweiser people, which Budweiser is owned by somebody else. Oh wow! So you'll mix a micro brew. Basically, you do a mix with your beer. Nice. So you mix like a more watered down beer, which is this is incredibly watery. Um, I I don't mind it, because I'm used to drinking Bud Light, Coors Light. I can handle that. I see. You just like you say, hey, I feel like having a. You don't mix it per se. Well, good for you. Good for you. I remember actually, I'll tell you a story. I was in Montreal as a kid, and I was a Boy Scout, and we were doing a trip. I want to say I was like 13 years old. Maybe I was 14. Might have been 15, but maybe I was. I forget the age, but I definitely was underage. I was not old enough to be drinking beer. And I remember going to a, Molson, I don't know, some kind of state liquor store. I don't know if they still have those. I don't know how they do it. Like here in Los Angeles or in the States, almost every state, everywhere in the United States, you can just go to a grocery store and get yourself a beer. Well, you still need a liquor license, but all that. But and I think there are a couple of states where you actually have to go to actually a designated liquor store to get liquor, like maybe Utah or something. Yeah, it varies, and I think there are a couple of states actually that still to this day. But I remember waiting in line, and I'm only I don't know the actual age I was. I want to say I was 14 or 15, but I waited in line and I bought beer there. They didn't. I went for it. I went and bought beer, and that was it. They didn't. No one seemed to care. I mean, I want to think that I looked old for my age, which is entirely possible, but and I think too, I think maybe yeah, I think you probably only have to be 18 to drink to be able to drink, right? Yeah, so that too. So I was looking old for my age, so they didn't think too much about it. Even they probably said, "Well, you do kind of look a little young." But when a kid, yeah, see, 18 and 19, right? Oh, okay. So Quebec is 18. The whole state of Quebec is 18, and 19 is Ontario. And in fact, I remember hearing stories from people crossing into Ottawa to party, and I guess it's because they were maybe only, they were 18 and they could get alcohol, you know. Maybe that's what the story was. I forget. I mean, after all, when you're about 12, by the time you're 12 or 13 or whatever, you're already capable of doing a lot of stuff. I mean, you could easily drive a car. I mean, you could do a lot of stuff, potentially, mind you. Of course, in war-torn countries, they have kids that age, running around with machine guns. I mean, you've seen that, so. All right, 20% off sale. Not to berate whatever. We'll just go on for a few more minutes. I gotta drink the rest of this beer, I guess. Good times. Um, I didn't tell you I had like a rat's nest in my van, my car that I have. You want to hear that story? Yeah, that's what happened with me this past week. I was hadn't been driving my van for like over a month. I literally did not even turn it on, the engine on. So I went and drove it the other day, and then I was like, "What is that?" I got a check engine light on, and then I'm smelling like a fire. I smelled like a fire. I was at the stoplight. I smelled. I mean, it wasn't full on fire, but I was smelling like smoldering something, and I just I'm like, "What is that?" And then again, it says check engine. So I'm like, the light went green, and so I went ahead and I just kept going. I'm like, well, maybe it will go away. And sure enough, the smell went away because, of course, I was driving, and so the wind and the blowing the smoke didn't materialize enough, and it was not enough of a smoke. It was not full on fire. So I kept on going. I went to my destination, and I had to park in a parking lot, like a 2, 3, 4 level parking lot. I got on the second level, but low overhead and all that stuff. One of these parking lots, and I'm in there, and I'm like, oh, I'll just check my the hood. What's going on? And I was smelling that little bit of a whiff of, like, basically leaves burning, the smell of leaves burning. So I opened the hood, and lo and behold, it was a whole gigantic nest, like a rat's nest. What's up, Harper? It was a rat's nest over my whole engine, and there was like a little bit of an ember of a fire sort of humming, like it was burning a little bit, but no fire, thank goodness. And oh my God, I was like, oh shit. And there's cars everywhere, it's crowded, it's parking lot. Oh fuck. So I'm like, oh shit. And luckily I always keep a big gallon of water in case my radiator gives out or something, so I got some water. And so I doused the little fire. It was not a fire, by the way, but again, it was glowing something, and there was plenty of nest from this rat, there on the engine. So no, the rat left a long time ago. It's not like the rat's hanging out there. I mean, after all, I drive the car, I start the engine. First of all, you start the engine, that's gonna probably make the rat, if it was, sleeping, like it decided to, the rat's like, waking up and, sleeping in, it's like, oh, what time is checkout time, No, this rat, it probably left a long time ago. I don't know what the story is on this rat, but it was not there. There was no cooked rat. Uh, but but anyway, it took forever to get rid of all this nest, and I had it towed just to be safe, and which is kind of tricky because it was in this parking structure, and they couldn't get the tow truck up, so I had to actually start the car to drive it out of the thing. But it wasn't, obviously the engine and all that, it wasn't going to get hot enough to start a fire right away or whatever. Anyway, we towed it back home, and then, but I was still getting, and I cleaned it out. And blowed it out. Got like a gardener to use one of those blowers. True story. The tow truck guy convinced this guy, the gardener who was nearby, to let him use the blower machine, and the guy said, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." So really, really neat. It was really neat to, in terms of the harmony, because the tow truck driver was very helpful. He helped me actually pull out the nest, and reassured me, because I was like freaking out. It's like, shit, what the fuck, man. Anyway, all good. Car runs fine, but still got the check engine light going. Check engine light. What's going on? So I checked my codes. Yeah, it could have been a fire. It could have really been a fire had I not been cognizant enough to, check the engine, the hood. But check engine was still showing up after I cleaned it all out, because, and I got the code. I got a little thing you can check the code, and took some figuring out, but it's somehow whatever. It wasn't like end of the world code, but it's one of those codes where if you don't solve it, you're not going to pass an inspection. Ultimately, smog. We have smog inspections, so it would have to be fixed anyway. Anyway, long story short, I discovered a wire that had been separated because this rat that was camping out decided to eat it. So I got that fixed, and that solved the problem. Now we're back to square one. I'm back on the road, baby. That's my story. That was exciting, guys. That was very exciting. I hope that was an exciting story for you, because it was for me. It was probably more exciting the reality of it all happening. I'm just grateful that there was nothing more than a little wire in terms of damage. But I'm gonna keep a better eye on that, and open the hood, and start the engine if I'm not even gonna drive it that much. I'm just not driving the van much. All right, 20% off Embrace Failure hats. All right. Maybe I'll see you there then. Maybe I'll see you there. How do you say? Well, you can't talk. I can't hear you. How do you say the city of Quyong? Quyong. It almost sounds like it's from China or something. To China. All right. have fun, everybody. I'm not going to be here, like I said, much longer, but maybe a few more minutes. Oh, you're Anglo? What are you English speaking? Are you English speaking? Is that what you're trying to say? Or is that your name? Anglo. Well, anyway, this was fun hanging out with you guys. I mean, it would be fun to sell the work, you know. First of all, I don't think anyone's watching. I mean, we have like maybe 2 people on Twitch and maybe 1 person on YouTube. So that obviously means that the chances of converting a sale with maybe 3 people watching is that would be like way too good, frankly. Yeah, you imagine, you know, like anything in terms of the numbers, we put something on the air, and well, I used to do the cable access shows, so I always kept that in mind. Even if you gave yourself a 10% return in terms of people actually watching, that's still good numbers. Which again, I'm obviously getting sidetracked in terms of trying to explain what I was trying to say. Okay, that's not a good maybe not the best analogy. But years ago, we used to send out postcards. I don't know about you, but this is before the internet. Before the internet, you would have an art show, and you would actually send a postcard to people on your mailing list. Has anyone ever done that before? Because that was a popular thing to do, and so we did that. But there was sort of a number, an adage in terms of percentage of like how many people would actually, you know, end up showing up or interact with your postcard. And I think I recall, I always kept in the back of my head, it was at the most 10%. If you were lucky, you get 10%. So meaning you send 100 cards out, you're lucky to get 10 people to show up or at least email you, or well, I don't even know if there was email back then. This is way back. Whoa, shit, way back. No fucking email. Way back. We're talking old days. No fucking email. Just a phone. You could call me. Landline. Call me on my landline. I mean, that was my number. That was it. I didn't have 2 different numbers, and no one has a landline anymore, but whatever. All right. Well, we did look at some artworks. Not a whole. It wasn't very extensive, but I did enjoy just hanging out. I liked just sort of chewing the fat. I used to do this more often, and it is kind of fun. We got a helicopter flying overhead. If you hear that. I used to listen to a medium on the radio, and this medium was a sort of like a reincarnation of Mother Mary, and they always preference the show, or at the beginning of the show or the end or whatever. It was on radio, and they would say, if you hear airplanes landing, that's because we are over here in Jersey, in New Jersey, just away from the LaGuardia Airport. I never necessarily ever heard any airplane. I don't know. Maybe I did. I didn't listen to it too much. I was like, oh my God, what's this show? It was interesting, to say the least. Life is interesting. Life is interesting. It's not always perfect, as you know. And there's a lot of ups and downs. Try to make it the best for yourself and others if you can. That's all you can hope for. Hope for the best, but try for the best, not just hope. Work. I guess, right? I mean, we all got to work for the best. But a little hope doesn't hurt. Pray for the best. Pray for the best. Pray for the best. Hope for the best. Do your best. Okay, I'm gonna make another note. Where's I got some more paper here somewhere? I don't need it. Oh, I got something. Let's write on the back of this. Hope for the best. Pray for the best. All right. What else did I say? Okay, this helicopter's annoying. I know if you watch this program over the years, you know that I've always had to contend with the helicopter flying overhead. It's usually never. It's not usually about me. It's not for me. They're not hovering over for this program. Hopefully not. We're good. I think. Okay, hope for the best, pray for the best, be the best. Be the best. Do your best. Try your best. Well, I don't know. I mean, there's probably something more. Work for the best. Yeah, hope for the best. Pray for the best. Be the best. Do your best. Try your best. Work for the best. I think that's about it, right? Am I missing something? All right. I'm working on exit strategy here. So if you have any other questions before I sign off, then let me know. Otherwise, we'll reconvene at a later date, most likely Wednesday. I always like to do something on Wednesday. Let me just see what's going on. I'm curious. I gotta just check out what's going on. All right. Well, that's gonna be it here. It's just hovering around looks like about a block away maybe. It's pretty loud though. I can see it. It's like a police helicopter, something, another. Who knows? You just never know. Sometimes, usually, if there's like more than one helicopter, then you know like some shit went down. Well, there may be some shit went down here too, but when there's like the news copters along with the police helicopter, oh man. Well, obviously that's going to be in the news. It's going to be on the news. Who knows what's going on here? I think I see a second helicopter. No, it's just still the one, which could still mean that there's something went down. Obviously, who knows? Who knows? Just never know. All right, I'm gonna sign off. Okay, I don't even know if anyone's here, but we'll again, as mentioned, reconvene. Gonna reconvene. Have a wonderful, if you're here in the United States, Memorial Day, celebrating the day off for most of us. Almost all of us got the day off. And all that jazz. And don't forget, 20% off everything in my Etsy store. There you go. Beautiful. Beautiful. All righty. That's it. I'm gonna sign off. Bye-bye.